What's shaking, guys? It's Feldy bringing you another MTG obsession video. Today we have a very special guest in the house. We have Mattcaster Mage. What's shaking, my friend? How are things?
I'm doing okay. I hope you're fine as well. And yes, I am Mattcaster Mage on YouTube. You can find me at youtube.com/MattcasterMage, where I go over daily market movers and do openings and just talk about Magic Gathering in general, as well as thrift stores and random buys, which is just a lot of fun to go over.
Live streams. I mean,
Live streams as well. Yeah, every Sunday.
Heck yeah, live streams. And if you super chat, he opens a pack. So
yeah, I still have a bunch of packs. I always have to be more prepared. It's always the days where I have a lot of super chats, I'll have no packs or like little packs. And the days that I have a whole stack getting ready for it, it's like quiet, like crickets. I'm like, I really gotta I have to start a routine or something. I don't know. Now I'm just gonna stay prepared regardless. Just treat everything like it's gonna be nothing. And then if it happens, I have my packs just in case.
what you need to do is buy like a mystery booster box and have the mystery cards. So
yeah, that's good.
like,
yeah. So I don't even know what is going to be. Yeah, that's right. That's a good idea. Maybe even like just wrap every booster pack in like just white paper.
Yeah.
And then just say mystery pack. And I have no idea what's going to be the pack underneath it. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, hey, if you haven't hung out with them on the stream, you got to go check it out. It's fun. Definitely one of those, community building type things where the Magic community.
I wish I could do it more. Yeah, I wish I could do it more, but I feel like one day a week is pretty sufficient. I think anything else, I don't know. Like I've heard things where other creators have said that the more live streams you do, it's actually worse for YouTube's algorithm. And I've heard the opposite, where people say, actually, no, YouTube wants you to do live streams. That's actually their bread and butter. And I don't know, it might be true because a lot of big content creators, essentially all they do is a massive live stream and they just chop that content into little clips with clickbait titles and thumbnails, and that's how they generate their content, is just through massive live streams. So I don't know. I'm conflicted. I really don't know what the right answer is.
I don't either. I mean, honestly, like I've been, slightly growing my channel. As you kind of know, I was in a different gaming community and kind of pivoted over to Magic. I've been a Magic fan forever. And then I was doing all this content and I would live stream maybe like twice a week sometimes. And I found it was good, but you had to like kind of set the schedule. And if you didn't have that set schedule, people were kind of like, oh, I don't know that you're, doing it.
Live streaming.
Yeah.
YouTube wouldn't send the notifications. That does happen too. What made you actually pivot on your channel from, you were doing Clash? Was it a Clash of
Clans and Clash Royale?
That's a Clash of Clans.
I mean, so my story's kind of weird. My dad, he's like 75 and he loved playing games. And so we ended up like, he loved this one game. It was like a kind of like a night like battleship game. It was called Rampart. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it was like an old like Windows 95 game where like it was all 8-bit and like the ships would like go around like the castle and like fire like little bullets and you'd try to knock the castle down, whatever. It was so stupid, but we all always like remembered that my dad loved that game. And when Clash of Clans came out, I was like, hey, this is kind of like an enhanced version, like, and he got hooked. And then my mom got hooked and then she played Heyday. And then we were trying to do like clan building and like strategies and war strategies. And like, we were in a clan with like a lot of adults and they didn't really know like, okay, how do you type out in like, I mean, you had limited characters, like, okay, you're going to go in this way. You're going to try to do this attack, use these troops. And you'd end up like calling these people on the phone. And I was like, I could just make a video and kind of have content for that. So that's what I ended up doing to start out. And it just became kind of fun and made a couple viral videos and, nothing like, too terrible going on, but it was just kind of fun.
Well, what made you pivot away from it? I mean, like, sorry, because I noticed you stopped making that content. Was there any reason behind it, or was it just?
I still play the game, and truth be told, I'm gonna pop it open here. I can show you. I mean, I've advanced my bases and everything. It's like the Halloween update. I still stay up to date with the game, but like I've got like all my little bases there. And
oh yeah.
This is like one of the 4 accounts that I still run. It's fun. I pivoted away just because like I felt like the game, like the entry level of that game, like if you just picked it up right now, you would never get to the end point in the game. And that's a problem, right? Like they just keep putting new town hall levels, which when you're a new player, you're like, this is unachievable. So it got to the point where I was like, well, I'm making content for the same people that are already making tons of content and they're inside the game getting promoted because I didn't have enough subs. So I was like, okay,
Right.
do I just keep grinding or do I just pivot to something that I really love doing and love collecting? And it's been kind of timeless. And so I was like, okay, I'll just pivot. So I just literally one day was like,
Yeah.
done.
I'm asking this because I've had a couple channels before. One channel that was like my original channel was like more of like a sketch comedy channel.
Okay.
And back in the day, YouTube was filled with that stuff. It was
Yeah.
fine. Like there's a lot of content creators doing it. And then slowly I felt like the algorithm was kind of like shrinking a lot of them out. And then I realized I was mostly just doing it with myself or finding, I don't know, unique ways to, create sketches by myself without making it like, I'm the character holding the cell phone here. Hey, what's going on there? Hey, the same guy opposite, but it's like you in a hat or something like that with like a crappy cell
Yeah. Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
So I never did that type of like, I call them like Vine humor. Now it'd be like more TikTok or just smaller, like
Shorts
so
almost.
yeah, it was never really something I was interested in. Because I went to film school, not to be like all whatever, but I would like to set the camera up in a certain shot or whatever, and that's the way I'd frame it.
Yeah.
So those type of YouTube sketches kind of just went away. So I kind of slowly put out less and less content, and then what I ended up doing with that channel, because I was like, well, I built up like almost 6,000 subs on that channel. I didn't want to just like leave them all behind. So I pivoted away to I changed the channel name to Plastic Legends, and it was more of an action figure review channel.
Okay.
And I put out about 12 videos on that. And it was almost like YouTube was like, no, you're this guy. Do
Yeah.
not put out that content. And I was like, what the hell's going on? My thumbnails are good. My titles are good. My tags are good. And YouTube just would not share it in their algorithm. And that's why I was asking you about the pivoting, because I was wondering if you think that having your old subscribers watch your newer content, do you think that's potentially a good thing, or do you think it would be better to just start a whole fresh channel and then that way you don't
Ah,
have all that library of other stuff in there?
I know. So I really did think about that long and hard. I was like, do I just do the fresh? But then I figured it's in the gaming realm still, right? Like it's
Yeah, right,
not like
right.
a total pivot. And like there's, people who play Clash that love Magic too. I really kind of gave it a lot of consideration considering like my entire archive is all Clash content.
Exactly.
And when
Yeah,
people
yeah.
go, they're kind of confused and like my like loyal people that were part of the community, they all kind of like fallen off, and I'm like, well,
Mhm.
I get it. Like I just had another person leave today and I was like, hey, look, I get it, man. Like it's totally not the same content and it's a different type of format, so you're gonna have to just like find a different channel to watch that you like that content creator for Clash of Clans. I wish that I could be that guy. I would try to maybe do hybrids where I do like a live stream with like Clash, but it just gets
Mhm.
messy on a channel. And I mean, what people don't realize is how much of a grind YouTube really is. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
there's so much thought that has to go into YouTube. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
from execution to editing to, I mean, and when you were doing those like sketch channels, I mean, that probably was a labor of love for sure.
Yeah, but it was one of those things where I would get less and less inspired to do stuff. That's what also kind of made me drop off with the content.
Yeah.
The main person that I would most of the sketches and the writing and stuff with, he moved away like 2 hours away, and like we wouldn't hang out a lot. And then whenever we would hang out, it almost felt like our friendship was solely based on the fact that we had a channel together where we would like film sketch comedy stuff, and then we'd upload it, and then we'd just spend the whole weekend editing the footage. And it was weird because there was a definite change in the relationship
Yeah.
after a while, and now we're actually just like friends just because we're friends. We're always friends, but it always felt like the main reason why we were friends was because of like YouTube.
Yeah.
And so it was a weird change, but regardless, it just got harder and harder to just make those videos on my own. And I didn't want to do like those kind of like I was saying before, the cell phone style humor, I call it. And
Yeah.
not to say that those aren't funny. Some of them are hilarious. I actually enjoy them, but it's just not something I wanted to ever do. So I drifted away from that. And also comedy in general, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's yeah, like you gotta walk on eggshells all the time. And I just I don't want to do not that I would purposely make things offensive. I don't want everyone to look for things to be offended about the content. So
Right.
that's why I would just not do it.
Yeah. And
And
comedy
so
is so hard. I mean, it like you can be hit and miss in like, you know,
yeah.
a minute, and somebody can unsubscribe because they get
Yeah,
offended.
they might like one joke that you made, they like that video. The other one, they didn't like that joke, and that right. So it's another thing. So
Yeah.
again, that was just why I was inquiring and just asking about that.
So-
Because I did notice that when you're talking about MTG Obsession, I was like, oh wow, he's got 3,000 subs. Like,
You're like, I've
I
never heard of
was
this.
like, wow, I've never like this. I try to watch as much Magic content as possible, and then I realized you had all these other videos. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's probably how you built up to that 3,000 subs.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and I literally like I've always said I want to be organic. I've never bought a single subscriber. I just want to make sure that like my content's getting produced and people are liking it. And I
Yeah.
mean, small channel, big channel, whatever the case may be, you all start somewhere and you kind of build up, right? And then
Yeah.
so my question is like, how did you pivot from that then into Magic and wanting to create Magic content?
So yeah, so like I guess I pivoted to that, but that wasn't like I didn't use an older channel to make the other
Right.
content. That was just a new channel that I made. I made it in 2017 actually. I don't know. I think I was just looking for another email. And then because you can associate your YouTube channel with an email, and I was like, oh well, the original channel name was MTG Robinson. And then I realized I'm like, that's like half doxing myself. So that's probably not good. So I'm like, I'll just like get rid of like the last name's kind of weird. People don't need to, it doesn't really make any sense for Magic. Like
Right.
MTG Robinson, like there's no character named Robinson. So
Right.
it didn't
Right.
really make any sense. I just noticed people put MTG in front of their name. And then I changed it later on to Mattcaster Mage. I remember when I actually came up with the channel name, and I thought about it and I was like, yeah, you know what? That's great. I love it. Snapcaster Mage, my favorite like card that I use in Modern, and it's like my name, Mattcaster Mage. I was like, that's genius. And I remember just trying.
It's like,
I remember just like, it's genius. Wow, I can't believe it, Mattcaster Mage. Yeah, and I made the worst. Like I don't know if I still have them saved in my computer, but I made some really awful like channel banners of like my head way too big on like a Snapcaster Mage body. It just looked like something you'd make in Microsoft Paint.
I was gonna say,
So,
was it paint that
yeah.
you were?
Oh
Yeah.
no, it was Photoshop. I just like
Oh,
it was one of those. I know how to use Photoshop, but I'm not like an expert, and I'm one of those people. I'm a very fast worker. So if I like I'm gonna be like sticking to something and spending a lot of time, like I gotta either be compensated or it's like I have to be really into it. And I was just for whatever reason I was like, it could be the ADHD. I was like, that's good enough. Big head on this body and just looked like crap. But what did stick is the blue theme. I've noticed I've always had like blue in the backgrounds of the thumbnails and everything. That kind of stuck throughout. But the original name didn't, and the original ideas for the banner didn't stick around.
yeah. I mean, and probably for the better, let's be honest. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. The one that I have now is actually my friend who I work with actually designed it. He's a cartoonist, illustrator. He also went to film school, but like now he's like pivoting more towards on his free time, obviously, to like animation and illustration. But he's really good. I like his style of art. It's unique.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'll do that for the banner, and I made the shirt designs with it as well, which I'm pretty happy. I got one of the shirts myself. I'm not wearing it right now, but it's upstairs. I was pretty happy with the design, but I'm looking to make more designs in the future. I just don't know what I want to do yet for shirts.
And
Maybe
if you haven't purchased them, I'm putting a link right below. You can go.
yeah, please if
check
you
out.
haven't. Yeah. I haven't had too many sales for the shirts yet, which is completely fine because I made it more like for me. I wanted my friend because like I was like I like this design because it was one of those like ideas that I came up with. Like, yeah, like reserve list table, and it's like they're at a bar and the table's reserved and they're like getting drunk playing a game of Magic. And
Yeah.
I remember
I
one of
thought
the
it was
comments.
witty. I was like,
Yeah,
that
but
is
one of the
hilarious.
comments like tore me apart, like literally ripped my soul apart. Like, this is just like really like I don't know, like it's just really lame. I don't know. I can't if I could find the comment, it was like it was like, please die. It was like the worst response to the thing. I was, wow, I just thought it was a clever shirt idea, but he really hated it. That's
Man,
another thing about being a YouTuber. You got to have thick skin. I
oh,
just, you have to just not pay attention to certain things. And
yeah,
honestly, if once you get people who just genuinely hate you, I know it sounds weird, but
you've
once
made it.
there is people, yeah, who genuinely hate you, that means that you're on at least a certain level where you're getting some sort of admiration, or you're getting some sort of, I don't want to say clout, but um, I guess people are actually finding you. You're actually in the ether, let's call
Right,
it.
right. I
So
mean,
that's actually a good thing in a way, because no one's going to be loved by everyone. That's another
no,
thing. Some people, they have this idea, is like, wait, not everyone doesn't love me. It's like, no,
I
that's
mean,
not the way
go
the world is. Yeah.
go on Amazon and read a review. It's going to be either 1 stars or 5 stars. You
Most of the
are for
time.
who you are,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's always kind of like I don't know, like I just be me and I don't care. Like I'm a pretty like genuine outgoing guy, and like I don't try to like
Mhm.
hide things, but like I worked in radio for 15 years, so I try to
Yeah.
bring some of like my skill set to the videos, and I've just kind of started dabbling in the opening videos. Want to obviously do a lot more and like gameplay and arena and that kind of stuff. And but what got you into wanting to create daily videos about the magic stock
Yeah.
market?
Well, funny. Yeah. Funny story behind that. Uh, so the channel in general, I mostly want to just kind of just shoot the crap with people, and just talk about mostly like master sets. Most of my early videos is complaining about master sets. Uh, like that was like all my earliest videos, just me complaining about master sets. And I was like fixated on the idea that apparently Wizards of the Coast doesn't think about the secondary market, or they don't acknowledge the secondary market. And I was like, then what the fuck is a master set? Isn't that the whole point of it? Is they look at the secondary market, say these cards sell well, put them in a set, right? That's the whole point. So
Right,
I curse. I don't know if I was allowed to curse there.
that's fine. I'm
Okay,
totally
you could
a-okay with
you could
that.
bleep it out if anything. Yeah, so that's how it started. Then I did a few openings, and then I kind of just didn't put out content for like 6 months or so. And then when the actual pandemic started, then I started putting out more and more content. Not, it wasn't a lot of updates on the market. I think one day I did an update on the market about fetch lands, and actually kind of got a decent amount of views. And there was like, and I posted on MTG Finance on Reddit, and there was actually a really positive response to it. And I was like, okay. And then I posted another video the next day. Everyone just like downvoted it like crazy. Like, you literally just look at cards that have went up in value. That's all you do. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, that's like a market watch thing is. That's
Yeah,
kind of like what a stock does. So like, you didn't add any extra analysis or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I don't do that for every single card, but I'll try to do the best that I can for everyone.
yeah,
But then it was like, I got so much hate to the point where it kind of fueled me, because like I
yeah,
have nothing to do. Like this pandemic, we're locked down. Like Toronto, we're like one of the most locked down places in the world. So like I literally couldn't do anything. So I'm like, well, I have all this extra time. I'm just going to keep making these videos, and even if people hate it, is tough. Tough worms. I'm just gonna keep making this content. And I
yeah,
just kept making it, and then slowly adjusting things. And I was listening to the positive criticism that was like more of a constructive, not that I was like, it was like confirmation bias. If anyone gave me like criticism that I deemed was actually like, yeah, that actually does make sense, I would listen to it and I would adjust my videos. A lot of people who've been watching can probably attest to that. Like I've done so many different alters to the market movers to where I think I'm probably still going to do changes down the line, but I think it's at an okay place right now with the
yeah,
format, with like the losers, the winners, and the foils. But
yeah.
like I would try things like modern. I would try like more foils, less foils, like no losers at all. And then I remember I got a lot of complaints saying, hey, what happened to the loser section? I was like, all right, I brought it back, and
Yeah.
that seems to be working okay too.
Well, I like it because it gives that like, the
Buy
pros
the
and
dip.
cons, and you can
Yeah.
kind of see like dips and like, oh yeah, that one,
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I remember that card. And like it actually takes me back all the time. Like I usually publish it when I'm like right in the middle of a phone call, so I can't like hop on and watch it right away. So I have to hop over on like a break, and I'm like, okay, I got like 5 minutes, I can see what losers there
Yeah.
are. And it's like, you know, like personally, I don't care about the foils, but I just, I like to
Yeah,
see.
no, a lot of people, but that's why I put it at the end too, right? It's
Yeah,
like a lot of people, because the drop off of views in the end is like whatever it is, what it is. I know there's some people who love the foils, but the majority of people couldn't care less, and that's fine.
exactly.
That towards the end of the video is more for the people who stayed long
Hardcore.
enough, they wanted to see the foils. Yeah, it's all good. Foils are also heavily like the prices are all over the place with
Oh my
foils.
gosh.
So like when it comes to accuracy on those foil prices, like again, like especially older foils, like the price ranges from mint to like heavy played. Like that's why a lot of them are so all over the place at the end. That's
Yeah.
why I kind of keep them at the end too, because with the regular copies, the prices are way more accurate. But then the foils, it's like, if you
Yeah.
like to collect foils, some people will pay a lot extra just to have that like clean 7th edition foil.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you.
Yeah.
Do you have any 7th
Yeah.
edition foils?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well,
So
I don't have any graded though. Do I actually? No, I have one 7th edition foil graded, but no, I should get more graded. It's just Beckett and all that. I might just buy graded cards instead of get mine graded.
I was gonna say that's probably gonna be easier. I mean,
Yeah.
always buy singles, right? That's what they say. Like,
Yeah. Well, that and sealed product, although sealed product lately has been kind of interesting. Hasn't
it
been a
has
lot
been,
of, yeah, like
all
I've been
over the
noticing,
place.
yeah, but even like the later sets, the latest sets, like it almost feels like there's a bit of a deflation in the prices.
Yeah.
So like, or it feels like it because they downgraded the power from Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, and I think, um, people are going back to work, and I don't know, maybe there's just less focus on Magic in general right now.
Well, I think that
Who knows?
these two sets that they just came out with, Strixhaven and, or I should say, Midnight Hunt and Dungeons and Dragons, didn't have a lot of excitement around them. I don't feel like I felt like it was like almost like placated to the audience, like, okay, hey, we have a D&D audience, let's just try this, and it
It's
wasn't
also,
like, you know,
yeah, it's the same company too, right? So
right.
it's, yeah, so it's interesting that they did that because they're not gaining new, like for the revenue of the actual company, it's the same company. So they're not bringing on new players. They're just kind of saying, hey, people who buy our other stuff, you heard about Magic? Maybe you should try to play that.
Right.
So
But then, like, I felt like, maybe this is kind of like how it always is, but, there was like maybe like one or two cards people were really hyped about. And that is the case on these two too. And then like the rest just kind of like cycled through and we're like, okay. And now it kind of feels like, okay, maybe a couple of these other cards actually are worthy of actually being, commanding a market price and having like good gameplay. But like for the majority, I felt like they printed these last sets kind of into an oblivion in a sense, and it just kind of felt like it was a little watered down. I'm hoping Crimson Vow actually comes out and it's pretty saucy, but
I think it will be. Innistrad tends to be a big draw, and also there's probably going to be some good reprints that we haven't really seen yet too. But yeah,
yeah.
who knows? I'm pretty excited about Crimson Vow. I
I'm
think yeah, tribal mechanics are always fun, and they're gonna have a lot of tribal vampire mechanics in there. It could be
Yep.
interesting. Maybe they'll bring back the party mechanic. So drop that off. Feels
Right.
like it feels like the right set to bring back the party mechanic for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Now, if you had a choice of just like, because you open packs all the time too, and like if you were to just go out and buy a pack for the value versus the experience versus like what you get, like everything kind of taken into account, what would you go out and buy for a pack right now? If you had an unlimited budget, just like, and it could be a couple. I'm curious, like what packs would Mattcaster
I'll
make?
say like, yeah, I'll say 3 packs.
20 minutes later.
Well, I'd have to open up an alpha pack, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to open up one alpha. If I have 3 packs, one of them would be an alpha. You got to go all the way back and experience what it would have been like back then opening packs. 'Cause I never opened packs back then, so I want to get.
When did
Yeah.
you start into the game?
I
Go back
started.
to that question.
So I started playing like in 2011, 2012,
Okay.
and then I kind of fell out of Magic around 2013, 2014, right around when Theros came out, and I was just like, Greek gods? Like, get the hell out of here. Like, Minotaurs? Are you kidding me? I was playing with vampires and werewolves and different guilds, and now you're giving me Minotaurs and Cyclopses? And I was like, nah, that's not me. I passed out on that. But then I got back in with Innistrad, actually, Shadows of Innistrad era, like just after Oath of the Gatewatch is when I got back in. And I never really left. I had like little lulls. Like I kind of was like not really super into it around Ixalan, Rivals Ixalan era, because like I felt like the lottery cards brought so much to the game. And then when they took out the lottery cards, I kind of felt a little bit like, do I really care about just buying dinosaurs and not getting a lottery card out of it?
Yeah,
Didn't
and
really
they're
feel
bringing
like
that back. I mean, they're bringing the lottery cards
Well,
back.
they are bringing them back. So that's the rumor so far. They haven't like 100% confirmed. I don't think they
Yeah.
have.
I
But
think it's been just kind of everybody kind of knows that.
kind of knows it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, though. I think if they bring back proper lottery cards, the only thing that I'm going to have to consider, though, is what does that mean for collector booster boxes? Does that mean that they're going to have a price jump? Right?
Yeah,
Because
and I mean,
the opportunity of getting these real lottery cards is going to be a lot higher in the collector booster boxes.
right.
And if they're going to be like one per like case,
yeah,
like it's probably going to go up. That's another excuse for them to raise the price again. And they've had more price increases than that they've ever had in the last 3 years, right?
Yeah, I think the odds were like 1 in 3 boxes you would get a lottery card.
That's kind of like around 1 in 4, 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Usually, if you have like a case, which is the 6 boxes, you're guaranteed at least 1 lottery card, potentially 2. Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. I mean, so I'll answer my own question. I'll let you kind of ponder back. I mean, alpha, obviously, that would be awesome. But I would probably pick up a collector's. Well, I don't even know if they make. Well, I would definitely pick up the Japanese Strixhaven right now. I just love that artwork. I am obsessed with that artwork. I don't know why. Like, call me crazy, but like, it's like my favorite set that they've created, which is insane. And then I would have to go back and probably do like revised, and I would probably do, I think I would probably do like, I don't know, Kaladesh or Amikent. I mean, just for the lottery cards themselves.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, I would probably do that too.
What's that?
Which one? I was gonna say I would probably, is one of my 3 packs would be Kaladesh.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to buy a box of that, but Dad's got bills to pay, and I can't quite afford a sealed box yet. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just the thing is, I love the collector packs, and I love opening them for that experience. But like in terms of like how much they are, it's like holy smokes, man! Like you can strike out big time on them, and it's like.
Yeah, I used to like the ones that I've like made really, really good bank on was actually like Core Set 2021 when it first came out. I did really well with that. I did decent with Modern Horizons 2, at least the first 2 ones that I open up.
I did too. Like right when it first came out, I pulled a
what the hell happened? Yeah, like what's going on? Like I don't understand how like it's almost like the first wave. If you get the first wave that goes to stores, they're always packed full of juice.
And
it feels like the later it goes, I know. I think that's the way they do it. So that's if anyone's watching, that's basically telling you definitely a pro tip on pre-release, definitely order.
Definitely order. Pre-release is definitely the way to go. I mean, not only do you get it the weekend before, but you get to
you're getting the juice. You're getting all the juice. Yeah, you're getting it's squeezed for you.
Yeah, and buy that like box, because like the pre-release is fun, like that one little pack. So you got to get like a set booster, draft booster, or collector booster, just to have that like insane value. Because like I mean, and in Crimson Val, there's no set boosters.
Yeah, apparently, that's right. Yeah.
Because there's like that delay or
there's shortage. Yeah, the shortage. I had an email from my LGS that was just stating that, and I was like, huh. I mean, I didn't really care. I mean, I guess that's newsworthy. As something like, if I was going to make content about like more just news related stuff all the time, I probably would have mentioned that in a video. But it's I probably should have actually, regardless. But I remember just seeing that, and I was just at work at the time, and I was just like, is what it is. But Crimson Vow, I think will be a pretty good set. I think it's gonna be better than Midnight Hunt.
Yeah, I agree, and I like, as much as I love like the Midnight Hunt like art, because it's cool. I think vampires. I mean, that's what the game like I grew up with. I mean, Singer Vampire and all those.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say I don't know any werewolves that are in the alpha set. Do you?
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
it was Singer Vampire, so
yeah. I mean, it's like it's so sweet just to kind of like relive those memories and rebuild decks, and then everything cycles through. So hopefully it all goes back. Now, how long does it actually like take you to prepare to make like a video, and then I have a
2
funnel.
minutes. No, I was kidding. How long does it take me to prepare any video, or just like the market movers? Like
Yeah, open-ended. You can answer however you want.
The longest to film, prepare. Is that your chair?
Yeah, it was my chair. I just totally fell.
There. You know,
that's gonna be.
That's funny. That same thing happened to me when I was talking to Pause on one of my Mattcasts.
That's
like
funny.
His chair went, but it sounded like someone farted. And I didn't want to say anything, but I noticed his chair, and he kind of looked alarmed, like, "Oh crap!"
I'm 5'6", so I'm really short, so I have to have the chair up. So.
Oh right, okay.
Like a little thingamajig. Anyway, not to sidetrack.
Yeah, I was gonna say for the market movers, it's one of those things. I'll wake up in the morning, so because I work from home, I'll wake up like an hour early and kind of just look at the data and just kind of look at the stocks of the day, and then I prepare the timeline in Premiere Pro, and then I go back to work, and then I wait till I'm on lunch. Then when I'm on lunch, I like do all the final touches and I record my audio and then export it and do the thumbnails and everything like that. So like all in all, those market mover videos probably take me about 2 hours every day to do.
Nice.
So around 2 hours, and then just the opening videos they really just take as long as it takes to film it and then export it. Like it's really just, here it is, unless I want to throw some edits, maybe research some of the prices of the cards that are over $1, whether it's rares, mythics, or foils, and that'll be added extra time. Yeah.
So it takes you about the hour in the morning. So like
the hour, then the hour lunch. So about like because I'll eat as I'm like preparing it during lunchtime. So about 2 hours. Regular box opening videos really just take the time that it takes to film it, and I just export it if there's no real edits that need to be done. The longest take are the thrift store buys and the random buys, because the thrift store ones I've been doing some editing here and there that will basically, so like if I'm doing like a montage of like me going to a bunch of stores, like I've done a few times on the channel, that'll take a lot longer. And in general, going through some of the random buys will take over an hour just by itself, and then me researching all the card prices afterwards as I'm watching the video again. Yeah, those will take a day or two to edit.
I did one random buy, and I will never do another random buy. Well, first off, I only had one rare, no mythics, and it was just garbage. And it was like 2.5 pounds of cards that I ordered. And I'm like, I could have just, burned the money, but like not just that, the editing of the video itself was just absolutely intense. And it was like, people don't realize that when you're going through these cards, you're like, you're probably watching TV or whatever, like trying to like, use your TCG player, like scanner to like see the values. But like, I mean, it's still a labor of love. And it's like, it probably took me a good 3 hours from the time I recorded, edited, checked all the prices, went through, made all the edits in the video, exported the video. I was like, oh my God, never again.
I mean, I probably should have learned my lesson a few times with some of the terrible, buys that I've had, but I've had some decent luck too. So it's one of those things where I'm like, but now I'm also at the stage. Yeah, but like now I'm at the stage now where I know that that's the videos that people enjoy the most, that like, even if I know I'm going to take a loss, I'll be like, every once in a while, especially if I'm looking at like Shop Goodwill or something like that, or if I'm at Valley Village and like the top card looks kind of interesting, or if there's some sleeves in the bag, I'm probably going to lose my money, but at least you guys can watch it and either not do it or have better luck than I did.
Yeah.
I don't incentivize going. Yeah.
I've literally struck out on like every single place I've went to try to pick like random buys. And like, there's nobody in Wisconsin that has like yard sales, garage sales, rummage sales, whatever the case, estate sales. Like I've literally not found any magic cards ever.
Just cheese. That's all you're going to find.
That's it. I mean, literally it's just cheese that we have in Wisconsin and cow pastures and the Packers.
Yeah. And the Green Bay Packers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so if you're a Packer fan, you can always watch my channel.
Oh, you got Aaron Rodgers. So he's okay.
Yeah.
He's doing okay.
He's okay.
He's okay. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into the Hall of Fame one day.
Maybe.
He keeps trying hard.
Yeah. Right now it's like I like Brady, but
yeah.
My favorite quarterback is probably Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. He reminds me of like playing football when you're like a kid, that guy who was the best player, he'd be the quarterback, but he'd also be the running back.
Backyard
That's
brawl.
literally that's the way he plays, and it's amazing. It's like, man, it's literally like playing in like middle school.
Have you ever heard his story? It's crazy.
No.
So
What's
like he was always wanting to be a quarterback, and every school recruited him to be like either a wide receiver or a cornerback or safety. And Louisville was like, hey, we'll give you a shot at, being a quarterback. And he won the Heisman. And then in the NFL, they were like, you're not a quarterback, dude. You're a wide receiver or safety. And his mom was like, absolutely not. He is a quarterback. If you're going to draft him, you draft him as a quarterback. And like the Ravens were the only ones that were like, yeah, we'll take you as a reserve QB. They didn't think that he was ever going to pan out. And then like just one game, he just like broke it open, and Joe Flacco got injured and he was the takeover. And that's the rest is history. I mean, he is insanely lighting
Well,
up.
you know a lot more about this than I do. Clearly you're American and I'm Canadian, because I just watched the game and I'm like, that guy's fast. He's cool. And I'm like, I'm going to follow this team now. But for the most part, I like the Eagles, but they suck so much this year. I kind of like I like to follow where Brady goes.
Okay.
So I'll try to watch Buccaneers games. And I'm like, it's just interesting. Like the fact that he's still playing at his age and he's
so
still doing
good
and stuff. Yeah.
So good.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I probably just got like a zillion thumbs down on the videos.
Well, we just transitioned from Magic to football.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like, dude, nobody plays.
Polar opposites.
Nobody likes football. Yeah. I'm a sports nut, so like I'm obsessed with. I have so many different interests, and I think that's what makes I think these kind of videos fun, is to like see what other people enjoy besides Magic, So
that's what makes life interesting, right? If you don't have interest, then what do you have? Like you have to make life interesting somehow.
Exactly. If you're not interesting, you're not,
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway. So when you go out and let's just say you're going to do like a thrift store buy or whatever the case may be, like, do you just randomly find them, or do you like plan out times and you're going out and like, hey, like this is, like, do you set like a schedule to try to go every week?
Weekends usually. So usually I'll do weekends. Actually, it's funny you asked that, because me and my wife right now, we're basically going at every weekend, thrifting, going to yard sales, flea markets, building up a bunch of content from a new channel that I'm actually going to be releasing soon, very soon. But we were doing that as well. Like I was doing that more myself for the random buys. I go to like Valley Village, which is basically like a Savers, Savers in the States.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's a thrift store similar to Goodwill, but it's called Savers. It's basically Valley Village is owned by Savers.
Okay.
And that's a place that I go to mostly to find like the thrift store stuff.
Okay.
I did a few Goodwill buys online as well, because there's one Goodwill location in Canada that actually has the shop on shopgoodwill.com. You can actually have like an auction.
That's cool.
I've done that a few times. Yeah. And then I've done eBay a few times. I've done a few like Facebook Marketplace, a few Kijiji things, which is like Craigslist for Canada.
Yeah.
So I've mixed it up a bit, but the majority of the stuff that I do is like thrift store buys mostly.
Does your wife like going with you and doing that kind of stuff, or does she like?
She has to. Yeah. Divorce. No.
I know, right?
Yeah. No. She actually likes it. I mean, sometimes she'll be a little upset, because like after I'll be going through the footage and I'll be like, editing, and I'm like, God damn it! Now I go upstairs and I'm like, you talked over me again. So that will happen. She'll get upset about that. So I feel bad, but like she enjoys it for the most part. Like we're trying to do it as a team, this new channel. So like she's a big part of the channel. So she films and she talks a lot too and stuff. Yeah. So it's going to be a good venture together. It's basically I'm taking what worked best on the Magic channel, and I'm exploring that with new avenues of buying other collectibles, but also stuff that I can flip on eBay or locally. And so
people get all into that stuff. I mean, it is.
Yeah. I started watching so much of that content, and I was like, I like doing this too. So when I started doing it myself, but then on top of that, I would get jealous of some of the stuff that I'd see in the States. I'm like, you guys get the best deals. Like in Canada, we just get shafted all the time. Like I'll see these people going to these garage sales in these videos, and they'll be like, so you got a Spider-Man #1 here. How much you looking for on that? 25 cents. Got it. I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then like versus here, like you wouldn't get that. Be like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's an old candy wrapper I found in this bin. I'll do $2 on that. Like that's what you'd get in Toronto. You wouldn't really get a lot of those deals.
Yeah, I feel like the people that have garage sales here, like either they're just trying to unload all the junk.
Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, and they're just like, okay, fine. Like, I mean, I remember when I had a garage sale like I don't know, 8 years ago or whatever.
Mhm.
I just needed to get rid of everything. I literally priced everything at like $2, and I was just like, move my tools, move everything. It was like everything I owned. It was like just $2 for everything.
Exactly.
And I just got rid of everything in like 2 hours, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's the thing is a lot of people here, they'll do it to make money for the most
Yeah.
part for their garage sales. So it's a bit of a pain. So there is still some good garage sale finds that I've had on the channel. Like I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, like there is still some good stuff in there. Like none of the videos that I've done, like we completely like busted out. Like it was like nothing, right? It was a complete bust. We've still had good buys in every video that we've done. A lot of the stuff we've already sold, a lot of stuff that I'm keeping for my collection. Yeah, like one of them, like there's like a stack of games. And I asked, how much is this? And she's like, I don't know, 15. And I looked because I noticed there was like a Zelda game on top. And I was like, and I searched on eBay. I'm like, this thing sells for like 90 used. And I'm like, and there's like 6 games. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that for 15. So there is still some good deals that we find, like I found on the channel. But I just get jealous when I'm watching like the American channels, like who do the same thing. I'm just really, I'm like, I got to move to the States.
I was gonna say we're really close. I mean, you can come hang out here. We got a pool and everything. You know, once it's
Wisconsin's close-ish.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a lot of the content creators that I've been talking to. They're like either in like Massachusetts, Virginia, Ohio, and like those are all kind of
they're all
a little close. Yeah, a little bit.
Is that channel live by chance, or is it
not yet? I'll give the name of the channel though. The name is Mattcart. Okay. So I was like Mario Kart. Same. It's not quite as clever as Mattcaster Mage. I'll say that, but it's Mattcart, and it'll probably be. I don't know when this video will be up, but it'll be live from when we're recording this in 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So
it should be out by that time. So you guys will probably end up seeing it in a week from probably when this is published or so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's gonna be 2 videos a week. So I'm not gonna be as devoted to as the Magic channel, because Magic channel I'm posting like 1 video a day. There's just no way in hell I can do that with like thrifting and garage sales. It's just not gonna happen. Like,
it's just logistically impossible.
It's logistically impossible. I still have a full-time job on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't just do that. Yeah.
Become a Patreon and get Matt out of his job so he can go thrift shopping and create videos for you guys.
Really, that is the dream. If I can just do YouTube full-time and not have to, work through the nightmare that is like, working from home with this job, I would be very happy with that. But it is what it is. It's a grind. It's
exactly.
A grind regardless. Yeah.
Well, man, I really appreciate you hopping on the channel tonight and doing a little interview, having some fun, just shooting the breeze here with people. I'm sure they all enjoy it and kind of getting to know a little bit more about you and kind of your backstory too. And if you haven't already, subscribed to Mattcaster Mage right down below. Check out his new channel coming soon. And make sure you guys are liking the videos, smashing that bell button, and comment on all of the videos that you guys watch, because as content creators, we really appreciate that support in the community. So
well, thank you.
Man.
Thank you for having me on. It was a great chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you wanted to run by?
No, not. Oh, I'm going to be sharing this video in my community tab. So also, guys, check out his channel as well, MTG Obsession, and drop a like and subscribe if you can. Every little bit helps as well, just like you were saying.
Awesome. Well, thank you, my friend. We appreciate you having here, and I'm sure we will be in touch, obviously, every day on the channels.
Okay.
All right, brother.
All right. Take care, guys. Cheers.
Thank you for coming to our show, and good night.